Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from LovenStamps and welcome to the So Many Stars tutorial series, which is going to feature the So Many Stars stamp set and the coordinating dies, stitched star dies to go along with it. One of my favorites. This is the star set to end all star sets. Definitely not just for Christmas, so we'll see some other project ideas for it. But the project I'm going to show you right now is one that does feature not only the greetings in this set that are beautiful, but also the star dies and some of the flourishes that go with them. And for this series, I am pairing it with a brightly gleaming designer series paper, which is in the suite to go along with those gleaming ornaments punches and the gleaming ornaments stamp set, but it's a really great match for this So Many Stars bundle too. So let's get stamping, and I'm going to show you some heat embossing tips as well as some tips for composing this kind of card and how to keep your colors together. All right, let's get stamping. So I'll pull my pieces out. This is actually one of the kits that I'm offering this month as part of my card kits to go, so you want to check that out on my website. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my Night of Navy ink pad and the greeting, Oh Holy Night, the Stars Are Brightly Shining, from my So Many Stars stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And you know what? I think I just realized I didn't put that in the right place. So I'm going to flip that over, because what I really want is I want to circle about like this, and I want my greeting to be up on the top right corner. So as always, one of the great things about Stampin' Up cardstock is that you can usually stamp on the front and the back because it's nice and heavy. All right, and I stamped it so far up that I have to turn my piece upside down there to get my greeting. Usually I center things, but for this one I want my star, which is die cut from the brightly gleaming stamp set, using one of the gorgeous So Many Stars. This is like the stamp set that never ends. There are a zillion pieces to it. So I use this stitched star here, and up close, can you see those stitch lines around the edges? They've just really set everything off. I love it. So this is going to go here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a Stampin' Dimensional and just pop one. I'm going to put it, let's see, should I put it on here? I'm going to put it right here on the corner so that I can use that to stick my star down. So this greeting is kind of a great shape to match the stars right here. And really I'm going to turn it a little because I want the line of shining to be in line with the line of the star. Okay, and then since we got some simple stamping going on, I'm going to grab one of my greetings. Let's see, whatever this one says, sending you love and something. Let's see. Sending you love and plenty of cheer. May all your days be bright throughout the year. And then this really fun stamp image. There are several, 2 sprays of stars here, and they can be used to layer with each other. So this is the outline one, and this is the inside one. I'm going to use just the outlines and go ahead and add some stars to, I didn't get very many on there, so I'll add a couple more. Some stars to the inside of our card, and then I'm actually going to clean this because the next thing we're going to do is some heat embossing. So the colors for this come from the brightly gleaming designer series paper, and I often love to pick a designer series paper that I'm going to use with a project to select my colors, because it really narrows the focus, and I really like the way they turn out when I have kind of that limited color palette. And you know, if Stampin' Up artists put them in a designer series paper together, then those colors clearly go together well. So there's the center of our card, and then for the front I'm going to add this. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure I don't lose my teeny little die cuts here. Before I do that, I want to do some heat embossing. So you could do this a variety of ways. You could stamp in navy if you don't want to heat emboss. Navy on navy is really pretty in the background, but I'm going to go ahead and use my copper embossing powder. So this is Versamark. It's totally stained. These pads are like the workhorse of stamping, and actually haven't used it for a while, so I'm wondering if this is going to be a happy occurrence or if I'm going to need to re-ink it first, but we'll give it a try. I'm going to go ahead and stamp here, and oh, it looks pretty good actually. Versamark leaves a watermark kind of effect, so if you're ever looking for a color on color, it's great because it matches every cardstock that you own. But it's also just a little bit sticky, so it is the ink that we use for heat embossing. And I need a piece of scratch paper here so that I can collect my extra powder. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm just going to pour the powder. I know, go crazy. Use the whole jar if you want. And then just shake off the extra. Oh yeah, this works really nicely. And then this I would just tap and pour back into the jar. I'll set that aside so you don't have to see it. But I'm going to go ahead and flick my cardstock. I'm going to do it here over the floor though, because I don't want to leave that powder every place on my work table. Okay, so then the next thing in our steps, so there's 3 steps to stamping. There's a sticky ink, there is the powder, and then you melt the powder with the heat tool. And I'll see if I can keep talking and hopefully you can still hear me. But I'm going to show you this up close because heat embossing is one of the coolest things in the world. So it's going to take a minute for it to heat up. There we go. And then once it starts to heat, you can see the powder melt, and then it becomes really, really nice and shiny and raised and absolutely gorgeous. You want to keep your hands away from it. This is a lot hotter than a hair dryer. You would not want to use this to dry your hair. The old ones from Stampin' Up used to come with directions for stripping paint. So think closer to paint stripper than hair dryer. There we go. All right, and so there we have our melted embossing. Isn't that like striking? Just zing right off the paper. And then we're going to add our star here, but before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and add our pieces. This is a strip of the copper foil, and I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this and turn this here for our project and go ahead and layer it. And what I'm doing when I put this down is I'm eyeing the edge here to try and keep it as straight as possible. And like I said, these colors are from the Designer Series paper. So there's our Night of Navy, and there's our copper, and our vanilla. So when you're using Designer Series paper, you can pick your neutral, vanilla or white, based on what is in the Designer Series paper that you're using. That's my recommendation. Okay, so now this is going to attach here. So I'm going to go ahead and don't tell anybody about the back. I'm going to go ahead and attach this here, and then I'm going to go back and add my cute little flourishes to finish this off. And there are actually 5 of these in the set, so you can use them like around a star. This is a magnet board that I use to keep my dies on when I'm working or for classes. So they fit around like this, ta-da! But I'm only going to use 2 because we don't want to be too heavy-handed here in our design. So what I'm going to do is take my fine tip glue pen and screw the top. This has a needle inside it, and the needle is designed to go into the needle nozzle and keep the glue flowing. And then I'm going to pop these on here. Now this glue does not grab instantly, so you have to be a little bit patient with it. You want to go ahead and slide that on there and then just let it sit so that it has some time to grab, okay? Now while you're doing that, you can put the lid back on. Sometimes people have a hard time getting the tips together. Here's my recommendation. Hold the tip so that it fits with the needle point right on your finger. Okay, and then all you have to do is go left, right to line up the 2 tips. Does that make sense? If you're trying to do it like this in the middle of the air, like who knows where it is. But if you set it on your fingertip, then all you have to do is worry about the left, right part of it. You don't have to worry about the up, down, and it's really simple to get that in there. I don't even have my glasses on. So yeah, fine tip glue pen. Okay. So there is our finished card. So really relatively simple with the bundle that you'll want to get. And the bundle is the So Many Stars stamp set and the, sorry about the mess of my dies, but the absolutely amazing Stitch Stars dies. There are lots of projects. Watch for some more from me. Video tutorials on using these, and when you order from me during the month of November from my online store LovenStamps.com, you any size order, you will get a PDF with the 4 cards tutorial for free along with your order. So I send that by email a couple day or 2 within the date of after your order. So if you have any questions at any time, always let me know. I look forward to sharing more projects with you soon, and I hope you have enjoyed this fun tutorial. Happy stamping!